Hello crafty friends. Today we're gonna make another birthday card, and this is more like a masculine card with a little fun fold. And I actually am using this paper pack here called the Water Seaside Retreat. And I came across this fish paper and I'm like, oh, this is so much fun. I want to use this for a card because that's the perfect one for a guy card. And I cut my strips of the paper down. So when you cut this paper, you naturally have to be mindful of the orientation. But I cut it down to 4 1/4 length and then 2 inches wide. And the 2 inches because that way I made sure I have, you know, a couple of fish that are showing with everything and not just tails or heads or something like that. So but there's other paper in this paper pack here that is really fun to use, but that's the one I use for this card. And we're gonna put this together really quickly here. I also am using the Relaxing Waterside Stampin' Die, so I used these 2 die cuts and stems, and I also used a little seagull, and I stamped this one here, and have a great birthday from this set. So this is all from one set. Let's see what we have in the package here. So multiple little pieces. I got this is Pool Party, and this is 8 1/2 by 11, and I scored it at 2 inches and then at 5 1/2. So 5 1/2 is your center fold, and then the 2 inches I just folded back, and then I just added adhesive to it and closed it. Super easy. And by the way, this is Tombow adhesive. I just put mine in these little bottles because it makes it easier to glue fine detailed pieces down. Okay, so this one I went around with brown ink just quickly, got the edges a little bit, and I did the same with the 2 wood. So this is from the, I think it was Country Wood was the paper. Let me see. Yeah, Country Woods is the paper, and this is still available. So I just cut small strips off of this one here and go around with the brown ink just a little bit. I haven't done that yet. So I'm using actually both sides. So the one side is this darker brown that you can see, and then the other side is that rose gold type color. So there are 2 different ones. All right, let's put this one down first. Let's put the fishies down and make sure the fishies are going in the right direction and are not swimming upside down. We don't want that fish on the card, right? And I just have to make sure it lines up. And then we're gonna put, so this strip I put almost completely on top of the fish paper, so it looks, you know, shines through a little bit when we put the flap down. Just a tad, doesn't need to be a lot. And so I'm just gonna overlap this just a little bit. So there you have it. And then we can put this one down. Okay, now this is all here. Let's add this one to the card front. But before I do this, we have to stamp our "Have a great birthday" just about here, and then we do our little seagull. up in the corner here. And that's all we need for it. And this is just a gray, so like a basic gray or smoky slate, whatever you have on hand. And we're gonna adhere this one down. And this one is actually cut, this die cut that I used here. Sorry about the background noises if you hear this. So it's garbage day today, and those guys are a little late, so they're pretty loud. This is called deckled rectangle dies. So this is the one that I used for the outside, and this is the inside piece, which goes just in the center here. And then we're gonna add our other decorations. Now, these boulders, and you can see here, so these are all just pieces of the wood grain paper, and all I did was I used my scissors and rounded them a little bit. So you literally just take your scissors and round the edges a little bit, and it doesn't have to be perfect because they're wood. So if you ever seen them on the seashore lines, the boardwalks, they're never evenly, but it just gives them a little bit more character. And one more. And that's all I did to those. So we're gonna use our ink, and again, just like espresso ink, and we go around the edges here a little bit, and just give it a little bit definition. And I do the bottoms too, because some are sitting on top of the wooden boardwalk and some are behind, so just in case, we're just gonna do that. Okay, alrighty, so let's adhere those down. That's pretty easy. I started with this one here off to the side, and then I just alternated them. And this one goes on top here, this one goes behind. So let's do this one first, so I know about where to put this. And this one about here, and then we have another piece that we put over here. And the only thing you might want to pay attention to when you cut the wood grain is, like, if you have like cracks or boards or something, that they all go in one direction and not going all over the place. That's the only thing. All right, for these two guys, so I just used some coloring pencils and went in here with the green a little bit. You don't have to do that, but I thought that just gives it a little bit extra color, just a little bit. And then we're gonna use the brown for those little feather thingies here. I don't know what you call those. And that's all I did with the coloring. I did pop them up a little bit. So what I did was, oh, there's not much on here. Let's grab one of these. I just put up one of these up here, and then we can put a smaller one down here. And then I just added adhesive on the bottom. And then I just placed it somewhere down here so it's not interfering with our phrase. This one goes over here. And with what the foam does, it kind of like keeps it still up a little bit from the card. So it looks a little bit more 3D, but the bottom is flat. Okay. And this is I ran out of my linen thread. So this is just a piece of thread that I had. And I'm just gonna wrap it around the front here. And then tie a little bow. If you wanted to get really adventurous, you could use this thread and go all around each of those boulders before you adhere them down, but this is for a card class, so this takes a lot of time, and some of the ladies have issues with you know, doing these fine detail things. So, but you could always do that if you feel like it. Okay, let's put a little bow in here. And then we're just gonna put our little bird on there. And he's just gonna go right in front here. There we go. And that is pretty much it. So I did do a little bit doodling, you know me, on the outside. So, but this time I'm just gonna do it on the outside here. And purposely a little bit off. I'm just using a pencil, so if you're scared of doing doodles, use a pencil, light pressure, just to make sure, you know, in case you don't like it, you can always take it off. Now this is a little fish hook, just a little fun piece. Like, do a little arrow here, it's got a little loop. Here's our fishing line. All right, and that sums it up. So super quick and easy, and just a fun little birthday card. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial as well, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment down below. Otherwise, I will see you back here next week, hopefully with a layout. I will see. I'm working on things. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.